Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the book Verity by Colleen Hoover. Now I picked this up after the whole Colleen Hoover hype was going around on TikTok, and I actually picked up It Ends With Us, which I've already read and reviewed on this channel. And yeah, I picked that one up. I enjoyed the writing style. I thought the book had some good points and some bad points, but then I saw Verity going around on TikTok and people were, doing reviews of her books, and people were describing this one as more of a mystery, as somewhat of like a psychological thriller. So I thought I would give this one a go next, because generally, horrors and thrillers are the type of books I normally go for. So I thought if I'm going to try a romance, with a bit of a dark twist, that might be the way to go when I'm exploring romance novels. And I knew I liked her writing style, so yeah, I thought I would give this one a go. And I actually like this one a lot better than Verity, better than It Ends With Us, because for reasons I just gave, it's slightly more of a psychological thriller. It's definitely a lot darker. It gets very twisted in parts, and yeah, so basically you're following a writer called Lowen, and she's a bit down and out. She's heading off to a meeting, and she witnesses a horrible event occur, and it kind of shakes her up a little bit. And then she's going into this meeting with her publicist and some other people, and she is basically going to be hired to be sort of a joint writer, kind of like a ghost writer, joint writer of this very popular book series, because the writer of the book series, Verity, has had some kind of horrible accident, and basically she's incapable of finishing the book series, but her publicist company want her to finish the book series because it's popular and it's making them money and that kind of a thing. So Lowen ends up going to Verity's house, and she ends up staying there with the husband, and yeah, creepy things start to happen throughout the house. And yeah, I quite liked the characters. I would say the few complaints I saw on Goodreads did kind of state that they thought the characters were quite flat and there wasn't much character development from them and that kind of a thing, and I do kind of agree with that. I do feel like sometimes they didn't show emotions as strongly as what I thought they would have. But yes, as this is a romance novel, you can guess, Lowen and Verity's husband start to, have these interactions, but it's all a bit awkward, obviously because Verity is still in the house. She's being cared for by a nurse, and yeah, you're not really sure what's going on with her to begin with. Lowen's kind of in the office going through some writing. Basically she's in the house because she's trying to go through all of Verity's paperwork to see if she can get a better understanding of the characters and the characters within the series that Verity's written. And the series that she's written that's popular is a very dark series. It's written from the perspective of the villain. So yeah, Lowen's kind of trying to get into the headspace of that. But as she's doing that, she stumbles across a manuscript that Verity's written, which is like a biography of her life, and obviously she starts getting into that and she becomes obsessed with that. So yeah, I would say it's quite well paced. It definitely kept me intrigued. I really wanted to find out what was going to happen in the end, and it didn't go where I thought it was going to go. Yeah, it's a little bit of an ambiguous ending, but I thought it was good. It got more and more. It's kind of weird because when it first starts off, the first opening scene is a little bit shocking in this book, and then you kind of get into the main story, and then it gets more and more twisted as the story goes on. I can understand like I said, I've only read 2 of Colleen Hoover's books, right? I've read It Ends With Us and then this one. But from what I've seen reviews of her books are, you know, like romances with slight twists and, you know, like something else in them. Like they're like tragic romances. Often there's some kind of tragedy or traumatic event in the books. But this one is supposed to be her darkest book. And I could definitely see that. It might actually be triggering for a couple people in certain places. But yeah, I can see why if you're an avid Colleen Hoover fan, you might not like this, because it definitely, I feel like this is verging much more along the thriller vein rather than the romance vein. I was definitely more interested in the thriller aspects of the storyline, about where it was going to go, and, you know, wanting to figure out what's going on in the plot. Didn't really care that much about the romance in this book. So if you're purely reading Colleen Hoover books for the romance, then you might not like this book as much. It definitely has romance and it has sex scenes in this book, and it describes a lot of sex scenes. But in terms of like the actual romance between the main people in the book, I wasn't really that fussed by it, and I didn't really feel like it was that intense. I more so wanted to know what was going on with Verity. So I actually feel like Verity, and I saw a couple of other comments say this, that Verity was almost like the main character in this book, even though she doesn't do a whole awful lot, because the book's split between, you're reading what's going on with Lauren in the house, and then you read chapters of the manuscript, so you're reading parts of Verity's biography. So yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I can see why some people might not like this book. I would say if you're like super into thrillers and you want to try Colleen Hoover, then this would be a good place to start, because like I said, it's very much more on that vein rather than the romance. And like I said, I enjoyed this one way better than It Ends With Us, just because of that plot point. Yeah, I found that more interesting. So yeah, that's kind of my review on Verity. I enjoyed it. I do feel like her books are a little bit cheesy here and there. Like, I wouldn't say this was a fantastic thriller or fantastic romance novel, but I do enjoy her writing style, and there's just something about her writing and her stories that keep me wanting to read to the end to find out what's happening. So I would say there's definitely flaws in this book, and it can be a little bit cheesy in parts, but it is very entertaining. Like, I understand why people enjoy Colleen Hoover books, and I wouldn't be opposed to picking up more of her writing. So yeah, that's pretty much my review on Verity. If you have any thoughts or questions, leave them down below. If you've read it, what did you think of it? So yeah, I would basically say if you're into thrillers and you want to try a romance novel, this might be a good place to start. So yeah, that's everything I have to say in today's video, and as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye guys.